Morse signal from space aliens. About 2 hours by express train from Japan's capital, Tokyo. And about 30 minutes by car from Kobuchizawa Station in Nagano Prefecture. You will see a group of huge parabolic antennas. National Astronomical Observatory of Japan, Nobeyama Radio Observatory. What do these parabolic antennas do? These parabolic antennas receive radio waves from stars. The frequency band they receive is millimeter waves. They receive such a high frequency band. The reason they receive radio waves from stars is because most stars in the universe emit electromagnetic waves. By receiving and observing radio waves from these stars, we can learn more about the phenomena of the universe. Unlocking the mysteries of the galaxy. The millimeter wave radio waves observed are weakened by absorption by water vapor in the atmosphere. So Nobeyama was chosen because of its high altitude and low water vapor. Also, because it is surrounded by mountains, artificial radio waves from cities are blocked, making it suitable for capturing weak radio waves from space. The main observational instruments are the 45-meter radio telescope and the solar radio intensity polarimeter. The now defunct millimeter wave interferometer and radio heliograph are also on display on the premises. In front of the observatory reception desk is the 45-meter radio telescope. It is commonly known as Yongu. It boasts one of the largest apertures in the world for radio telescopes capable of observing millimeter wave radio waves. It was completed in 1982. And has led the way in Japanese radio astronomy. In particular, the research that confirmed for the first time the existence of a massive black hole at the center of the galaxy astonished the world. The most distant object ever observed by the 45-meter radio telescope is a galaxy called BR 1202-0725, a quasar, which is more than 10 billion light-years away from Earth, and more than 100,000 times the diameter of our galaxy. Even today, more than 30 years after observations began, it remains one of the world's most powerful radio telescopes. Observations of millimeter wave radio waves using the 45-meter radio telescope and millimeter wave interferometer are carried out from November to May, when there is little water vapor in the atmosphere. During this time, observations can be made during the day, so they are carried out all day long. They were in operation while I was visiting. Maintenance and inspection work is carried out in summer. Observations of longer wavelengths, centimeter waves, sometimes carried out in the summer as they are less affected by water vapor. Solar observations are only carried out during the day, but throughout the year. The solar radio intensity polarimeter is a device that measures the strength and characteristics of radio waves from the entire sun, as well as the polarization, to study solar activity. It uses 8 antennas to simultaneously observe 7 frequencies. Observations in the 3.75 GHz band have been ongoing for over 70 years, and have provided valuable data for studying the long-term changes of the sun. A radio heliograph and a millimeter wave interferometer, both of which are no longer in operation, are also on display. In addition to these parabolic devices, there is also an exhibition room with panels introducing the activities of the observatory and related facilities. In fact, in the early 1980s, a mysterious Morse code-like filament was discovered being sent from the center of the Milky Way galaxy, and is still being studied and deciphered today. It would be fun to think that aliens were sending out Morse code. Receiving radio waves from stars requires special equipment like this, but receiving radio waves and Morse code from artificial satellites is easy. Morse code like this can be received from artificial satellites. This is Morse code from Kosan number 1. Launched in November 2021, it is a technology demonstration satellite that tests the deployment of antennas to observe radio waves emitted from Jupiter. It is operated by Kochi National College of Technology and other colleges of technology across the country. Radio waves from this satellite can now be received online without a special receiver or antenna. First, the receiver, a WebSDR receiver in the UK. This receiver can receive satellite signals. You can search for the times when satellites pass overhead here. Registration is required, but you can set any current location, so if you register the location of the UK WebSDR receiver, you can find out the times when satellites pass overhead. If you set the beacon frequency at the time it passes, you can receive a downlink like this. Because the satellite orbits the Earth at high speed, you can clearly see the Doppler shift, moving from high to low frequencies. When you actually receive parameters in Morse code from a satellite, you can imagine it orbiting the Earth bravely. It's quite moving. Also in Nagano, in Matsushiro Town, Nagano City, there is a monument marking the birthplace of Japanese telegraph. This is the place where Sakuma Shozan, a samurai of the Matsushiro domain, used Dutch books as a reference to build his own telegraph machine and successfully conducted Japan's first telegraph experiment. Communications in Japan began here. Nagano is home to many such precious facilities. Why not visit the Nobeyama Radio Observatory of the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan?